Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down.
Hi everybody. So this week we're going to be talking about shooting. The day you've all been waiting for, the big day, your movie day. Now, before you go out and shoot, one thing I should mention, the last scripty thing, you gotta cast your actors, because you need people to act in there, unless you're doing a one-man show, kind of like I am. Still, you need actors. So, I mean, you don't want to cast, like, a young little kid as supposed to be, like, a tough mobster gangster kind of guy, because then it just looks like you're doing a crappy home movie with a bunch of kids. Even if you are, try to get some variety. Like, if you need a mature person to act, get a mature person to act. Just saying. Okay, so it's the day of your shoot. Now, what are you going to need? First thing you're going to need is that script you planned out last time. You're going to probably need that just to go through the lines, because everybody forgets their lines. And if you're like me, most people haven't memorized their lines ever, so you just give them the script and read off their line, and then they go do the shot. Second thing you're going to need is a prop list. Now, I can't stress how essential this is for most of my movies, because it's just a list, and you go through the script, you write down everything and anything you need. I mean, if you need lights, you write down your lights, so you remember to grab them. You need fake blood, well then you write down fake blood, and possibly like components of it, like corn syrup, food coloring, flour, whatever. You need, just write it all down on a list, so then day of the shoot you can just put it all in a big box, check it off one by one, and you're done. Other thing you might want to grab is some storyboards. You've done all this work probably creating a storyboard and visualizing how you want your movie to look. So now you want to have those so you remember, oh yeah, that was a good shot right there. I want to do that way. Or to show your actors how they should move or whatever, and give them like a visual in their head kind of thing. Also, something I haven't tried yet, but I think it would probably be pretty good. I just read this Robert Rodriguez book, Rebel Without a Crew, and one of the things he suggested to do was a shot list. So, like, for a day of your shoot, you just write down every shot you need, like a low angle right here of this guy walking forward, and then it would cut to this panning shot of him walking more, and a close-up as he pulls out his gun and shoots some guy or something like that. So just write down every shot you need, and that way you can just check that off too as you go down the list, and it'll be a lot easier to keep track of what you need. You won't be like editing later, you're like, crap, I was supposed to get that one shot that was like the hinge point in the entire movie. You won't have that happen. Other thing you probably want to go have is your schedule for the days of shooting. Most of these starting off movies would probably be one day, one night with a whole bunch of friends and some Halo. That's usually how my first movies were. But as you get bigger and bigger movies, you're going to want to schedule. Like, we had this big mafioso movie planned out a few years back, and we had this like 3-day shooting schedule, and it got canceled, but that's a different point. Anyway, we had it all scheduled out, like 12:30, we go over to Benny's Bakery and shoot these shots. 1 o'clock, we head over to Mill Pond and do these other shots, whatever. So just get it scheduled out so when you are shooting, you know like how much time you have and whatnot. Now, speaking of how things went bad, always plan for the worst. You never know when something's going to come up, like when we did the mafioso thing. Frump came back from a ski trip, which he had like a week to do his homework on. He was like, oops, I'm going to do it on the one day we're going to shoot this movie that we've been planning for over 3 months. So, yeah. That's one problem with actors. You never know when they're going to be all like, oh, I have work to do. You kind of rely on your actors because you can't do a ton of stuff without them. You don't really have much of a movie. So, if worse comes to worse, fill in with somebody else. Always have backup extras. Yeah, backup extras, actors, everything. And if you absolutely can't find anybody to do the part, then you might just have to dump the movie, kind of like Mafioso, unfortunately. The other thing you're going to want to do is motivate your actors. Now, most of the time, they're like, I don't feel like doing this. You gotta make them feel like part of the team. Like, this could be a great movie. We're doing this together. It's gonna be an awesome movie. Let's go do this thing. When they feel like that, they're like, oh yeah, I want to help out with the movie and do stuff. There are also other means of motivating your actors.
Once you turn your back on the tunnels, there will be 3 rights in front.
I'm gonna hit you in the head.
Okay, so what's the difference between these two pictures right here? I'll even give you a second. The one on the left is the actors, and the one on the right is your crew. So what you should do, make things easier for your life, is use your actors as your crew. That way, I mean, nobody likes standing around doing nothing for like an hour or two. So when you're not using some actor, have them, hold up a light, apply fake blood to the other actor, give them a towel to wipe off that fake blood. Also important, always carry duct tape and a towel with you. If Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy taught you anything, so you should always carry a towel. And also duct tape, because that's just important for everything. So final thing about actors. Most people are like, oh, I don't want to have any actors in my movie. I just want to do a one-man show or stop animation because I don't want to hire actors. I don't want to have to pay for them. And I totally agree with you. Paid for actors would suck. But actors can also work for food. So instead of paying them, just give them a $5 pizza. I mean, after a hard day's work, nothing better than having pizza with your friends and hanging out. I mean, also, friends, they always work, like, cheap to free. So you don't have to hire professional actors or anything like that for your movies. You just need to feed them. And that can rack up some costs too. But I mean, honestly, if you stick to, like, cheap food like pizza and Taco Bell, then you're pretty set for your budget. So that's really about it. Covering most of the basics of shooting. You go with the other shots I told you about in previous episodes. Use the lighting techniques. Whatever. I mean, just all these things combine on shooting day. You want to make sure they all match up. And there's only so much you can do in editing. So if you get some bad acting, like we did in 4.0 with that one guy in the hallway who just couldn't act. I mean, I did the best I could in editing, but still, it comes out crappy. So get the shots you need on shooting day, and do that rest in editing. That's about it. Again, I'm going to be shooting sometime this week, hopefully. There's going to be no tutorial next Friday because it's a Good Friday, and I'm not going to be here at school with all my camera equipment and such. Also, I'm not going to go film on Good Friday because it's kind of like a holy day. So anyway, that's about it. I'll see you all next week, and hopefully I'll have something that I shot to edit because I haven't written the script yet because I procrastinate. But it'll come quickly. Anyway, that's about it. I'll see y'all later. Bye again.
And the man in the back said everyone attack, and it turned into a ballroom blitz. And the girl in the corner said, boy,